Hi everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel, Hallmark Plus More, where we watch and talk about shows, movies, mysteries, Hallmark ornaments, and anything else that floats your boat. So today I'm going to be reviewing Tracker Season 2, Episode 13. So before I get into the review, I just want to say thank you to everybody who subscribes to my channel, likes my videos, leaves me comments. I appreciate you so much. So, getting into this review, right? I was kind of excited for this episode because remember last week, the preview for this week, they kind of showed Rennie telling Coulter to quit the job. So I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting because he can handle himself in most situations. So, what was so scary that she was kind of warning him, I think you should stop. So, I really was excited to see this episode. It's about a missing woman. You see a couple, Claire and Logan, really sweet couple. They're walking, kind of window shopping, walking down the street, and kind of on a whim, he's like, hey, go in and try that dress on. And she was like, no, we're saving money for a trip to Fiji. And he was like, no, try it on. So you think it's kind of spared the moment. So they go in, she goes back in the dressing area while Logan waits outside, typical male, they have to wait outside. They can't come in the dressing room, right? So nothing out of the ordinary there. But after a while, he's like, can you go check on my wife? She's gone, right? You look in the dressing room, the dress is still hanging on the hanger, and her phone and her purse, it's like she just vanished out of thin air. So you find out there's an exit door, outside of the fitting room. But you really don't know why, right? Because you don't hear about any scuffle or nobody else was in the fitting rooms. So really you're just kind of perplexed as how did she vanish, right? And why? Because it wasn't like they planned it. They went in a random store to try something on and everything is still there. So definitely interesting. Like I say, you obviously find out, she left through the back door. But you see Velma because she calls Coulter and is like, look, $20,000 reward in New York. A woman just vanished and her husband is, putting up this reward. So her husband is Logan Dillard. And like I say, nothing out of the ordinary with him. He's clean. They do a check on him. Says, look, my wife's only been gone 12 hours. Yes, I've called the cops, but they won't do anything. And so Shaw's like, yeah, let's go in and looks at the dress room. And of course, he thinks it's odd too. And as they're talking, they go out the back alley to kind of say, must have been where she went. And he's getting a notification on his phone, like an app for his security system. And he's like, oh my gosh, somebody's breaking in my house as we speak, right? So Shaw's looking at the video with him and they're like, okay, let's go. So they go to his house, but nothing's missing. Nothing's even out of place, just Claire's laptop. His laptop is sitting on the table, so they obviously don't want money. They had cash and jewelry in a drawer in the bedroom. Bedroom's not even touched. Nothing is overturned. The money and jewelry is still there. So they look at the footage again, and it looks like they go straight for the laptop, and then they jam the signal. But then they just knock over a couple chairs. So Shaw's like, this was planned. They obviously wanted your wife's laptop. What does she do? And Logan's like, she works at a publishing company, SLD Publishing. So, nothing like some secret military job or something. But Coulter goes to the publishing company, where she works, and it's real quiet. He doesn't see or hear anybody. And then he looks around and he sees employees that are dead, like execution style, right? So he's like, what? This is crazy. And it turns out he sees 5 people dead just in their office. So total of 5 dead, like I said, all execution style. It looks like the company must be a front for something, like some kind of government agency, like just odd that Claire up and vanishes and then 5 people are dead in their office. So he sees a company photo, so he calls and cousin Randy's there helping and is like, can you find out information on this company? And he's like, yeah, there's only 7 employees, and there's 7 people in the photo. So, obviously, I'm thinking the same thing Coulter is, right? Because, like I say, my mystery puzzle solving mind is like, okay, there's 7 people, 5 dead, plus, minus Claire, who's the missing person. So that's exactly what, Shaw said was like, all right, send me pictures. I want to know who's the missing person. So it's Elaine Turner, which is listed as the editor in chief, right? The boss. So you got the boss, the editor in chief, and Claire. Everybody else employed at that office is dead. So, Coulter's by himself. So he says to cousin Randy, like, can you get into the system? I'm going to go to Elaine's desk, see if we can figure it out. So you hear a couple recordings and they say like Neptune, it's almost like a secret code. And then he says a couple numbers or coordinates or, spy talk or, in code. And then he hears somebody and he hides and he sees these people come in kind of like hazmat suits. They're all dressed in white, these thick suits. And I'm like, okay, they're the cleanup crew, right? They're going to clean up the bodies, but they have these big machine guns. So definitely suspicious, and he's like texting Randy like, you got to get me out of here. So he sets off the alarm or something and Coulter gets out, but obviously you can see somebody's there to clean up the bodies. And then he goes to talk to Logan because now he's like, look, Logan, you said your wife had this job that, was just a regular ordinary job. Well, 5 people are dead. How did you meet Claire? So like Coulter's like, tell me about your relationship. How'd you meet? Like, does she travel a lot? And, Logan's like, yeah, she does. We actually met on an airplane, and we've been married for 2 years. So as Logan is telling Coulter Shaw this on the phone, you can kind of hear him in the background. You hear a knock on the door and he's like, oh, I didn't order any room service. And then the line goes dark. So, I get goosebumps telling you about it. Well, I got goosebumps when I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, he just got taken, right? But Coulter heard it. So as soon as I heard him say, hold on a second, I didn't order room service, I was like, yep, he's going to get taken. And then, of course, he does. So Coulter runs to the hotel, goes into his hotel room, sees his phone on the floor, no other evidence, so he like goes down to he watches a kind of like a waiter, room service person on the floor. So he kind of follows the room person down to the employee entrance of the hotel where all the employees go. And oops, I'm sorry, I was just looking at my notes. So he goes where all the employees go to try to find out, like, if Logan is there or to kind of find Logan. And while he does that, he actually sees Claire run out, to the parking lot. So, I mean, he's there to find out who took Logan. And then when he's in the employee section, he sees Claire leave. So you're like, wait, okay, what? Meanwhile, while this is happening, you actually see cousin Randy call Rennie, and that's the scene we saw from the preview. Randy tells Rennie, like, look, I'm worried about Shaw. Like, this is not just a regular missing persons case. This has to do with some kind of secret government agency, like where they're, maybe something's dirty, something's going on. This is definitely shady, and I'm concerned for Coulter. So I'm talking to you to get you involved. Can you find anything out about this company? Is it like a front for terrorist or what's going on, right? So Randy is very genuinely concerned about Coulter, and he is telling Rennie, help me out. I'm concerned. I know you care for him too. Like, this is our friend. So I thought that was kind of nice that he was so concerned he reached out to Rennie. And you know how much I love Rennie if you watch my videos. And then Randy's recordings that he kind of told Coulter about, he's getting like hacked or breached. So he's like, I gotta go, Rennie. Somebody's, hacking my stuff. So definitely high tech if they're hacking or, breached his firewalls of cousin Randy, because he's high tech just like Bobby. So you definitely think there's something, important, some kind of secret agency, secret mission, something going on. So before Coulter leaves a hotel room and sees Claire in the employee area, somebody calls him in the hotel and says, "Hi, Mr. Shaw." So like they don't just take Logan; they actually know that Coulter's involved and knows him by name. So he's like, "Look, I'm not quitting this case." But like I say, he gets off the phone and tries to figure out what happened to Logan, sees Claire go into a parking garage. So he follows her. And then you see a pair of sunglasses on the ground. And I'm thinking, yeah, Claire's setting him up. If she's good person or a bad person, she's, setting it up for Coulter. And he picks up on it. And he obviously, comes around and surprises Claire because Coulter Shaw is Coulter Shaw. He's amazing. He anticipates everybody's first move. That's why he's so good at what he does. So, he talks to Claire, and Claire says, "Look, I'm the good guy. Your husband Logan hired me to find you." And, tell Shaw that they were compromised. That's why she left. Her boss took her to a safe house, and then she got suspicious and left the safe house. So Claire kind of tells Coulter Shaw everything, right? You can't trust anyone. So Coulter was like, "You can't trust anyone, but you can trust me," you know? But she's worried about her boss. Like she knows the same thing as Shaw. "I went to the office, everybody was dead. I don't know why Eileen is keeping me alive or what she needs me for, but I'm suspicious because me and her are the only two people not dead." So she kind of knows that Eileen, sorry, has something to do with it. And then she texts her to meet her at 7 o'clock. So of course, Coulter's like, "Go meet with her. I'm going to be watching you. Don't leave with her. Just make sure you can get proof of life. Make sure she shows you Logan. And of course, her being a government agent, I'm sure Claire knows all of this. So, but they kind of pair up and trust each other. So, Eileen and Claire talk, and then they leave together. So basically, and she kind of guessed it. As she's talking to Eileen, she's like, "Oh, so you're not keeping me alive just because you're keeping me alive because in order to do what you want to do, sell government secrets, whatever it is, you need two people to do like a scan and put in your code." So basically, Claire's realizing right then, like, you only need me to get the information, then you're going to kill me. So while she's talking, Shaw actually is able to find out where Logan is and get Logan to safety. He does get shot in the process, but gives him to safety, and then she goes after Eileen to help with Claire. And Coulter goes back to the office, and that's where Claire and Eileen are. So she does what she needs, and I'm thinking, okay, hurry up, Coulter, because now that now that Claire helped her, she's of no use to her. But they hear a noise, which is Coulter off the elevator, so it kind of startles them, and they fight. And obviously in the end, he shows up, and Claire and Eileen fight, and Claire wins, right? So Eileen, goes into the police. They turn her into the police. And Shaw actually convinces Claire not to kill her because Claire at this point, wants to kill her. "You killed all of our coworkers. You killed everybody. You did treason. You turned on your own country." Like, Claire's upset. You kidnapped Logan. You were going to kill me and him, but Coulter is really good at staying calm. And you see in other episodes, this isn't the first time he's tried to, convince somebody not to shoot the bad person, right? So I'm like, okay, this is Coulter being Coulter. So she does it, and she gets arrested. Coulter meets with Logan, gets the reward money. And he's got a sling on his arm because they said Logan was shot. And he's having a hard time with it. He had no idea his wife was a secret agent. No idea, that she lied the whole time. So he's having a hard time with it. He's like, "It's hard for me to trust again. I trusted Claire." And Coulter doesn't really get involved with the people he's working with, you know what I mean? It's almost like he doesn't want to be the middleman. but he does give Logan a note saying, hey, this is from Claire. And you look at the note and it says, I'm sorry for everything. I love you. I'll be waiting for you in Fiji. Because remember at the beginning of the episode, they were like, we're going to save our money to go to Fiji. So I thought that was really sweet. So yes, she's a government agent. Yes, she kept secrets from him. But, she was protecting him and that was her job. She's sorry. So I hope Logan goes to Fiji. I mean, we never actually see the next scene. We just see that, like, she's trying to make it right. So all in all, it was a good episode. I mean, she gets found in the end. Logan is safe and hopefully they reunite or try to work through it. Maybe they'll go to counseling, but I hope he goes to Fiji because I really liked Claire. I thought she was a really good character in the show. So a great episode. Again, we didn't see Bobby. I guess Cousin Randy is going to be the whole rest of the season, but he's great. I mean, he's very funny. I liked that he was so concerned about Coulter, which feeds into, Velma and Rennie really caring about Coulter. So I did love that of the show. Now, next week's preview, summoning, torture, sacrifice. So I'm not really looking forward to that. If you've seen my videos, I'm not really big on torture and human sacrifice and really graphic, people skinning people, cannibalism. I don't enjoy seeing that. So when they say, oh, it's, we're summoning a spirit and we're torturing and doing human sacrifice, and I'm not looking forward to this episode at all. I love Tracker. I will definitely watch it. But I just hope they don't keep doing these storylines. This week's episode was great, but they have done other episodes where they've kind of gone down that road. So again, I'm a fan. I love Justin Hartley that plays Coulter. I love Rennie, Velma, Cousin Randy and Bobby. Like I love the concept of the show, and I like that every week he does something different by being a reward chaser, so to speak. But if they're going to keep going down this road of torturing and sacrificing, I'm not sure if I'm going to be watching this on a regular basis. I will definitely be watching next week. I just hope it's not too much heavy on that stuff. Focus more on finding the person. But all in all, a great episode. I mean, I say I'm not looking forward to it, but I will still watch and still report as a video. I just hope they kind of stop going down the big torture and sacrifice road and show us other things. But all in all, a great episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below, and I will see you next week. Bye.